Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. You dialed set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here. And you can listen to us on AM, FM, satellite, YouTube, telephone listen line. I'll give that to you right now. 605-477-3249. 605-477-3249. We're on 24 hours a day. And you can listen to us on Republic Broadcasting, on a delayed broadcast, and Liberty News Radio. I'm delighted to be broadcasting today with Miles in Europe. Welcome, Miles.
Good morning, Vincent. Good morning, class. How are you doing?
Miles, it's great to hear your voice. You've got so much to teach us. We have 2 hours today. I wanted to share something that happened last night. I learned about this at the meetup. You know, I've been having some difficulty with a credit card issued by UMB Financial. And I mentioned that on the air that my card had been declined in a number of locations, and they told me that it's because I'm traveling and I didn't inform UMB Bank or UMB Financial. They want me to tell them where I'm going, and I told them I don't even know them. Why would I tell them where I'm going? Well, my card was declined at the meetup a couple weeks ago when I handed my UMB Financial credit card to Mike Hicks, who is our waiter and kitchen manager at Jimmy's Egg. And I was kind of embarrassed. It was a $12 charge, and my credit card was declined. I talked to UMB Financial, and they called me, and they told me they were giving me a courtesy call, letting me know that they were going to report me to the credit bureaus because they didn't seem to like some of the names that I had on the account, like Anthony Soprano. I asked them if they had any particular problems with Anthony not paying his bill, and they said no, but they're going to report me anyway, and it was a courtesy call. And here's the point. The point is a couple points. One is I'm not going to allow them to damage my credit score and have my insurance costs go up for automobile and farm owners and homeowners policies, etc., because these guys don't like the names that they've inherited from a previous bank when they took over the portfolio from Juniper Bank, the previous processor for Casey's General Store, which is the name on the on the credit card. Well, so they told me that I should really be quite pleased that 99.2% of the transactions that I try to get completed get processed. And I said, no, I'm not really happy with that. 100% is where I really want this to be. I want to use my card and get 100% of my transactions approved. Well, they told me that I was, way up there in the approval ratings of their particular bank. Well, here's the point. So I was talking with Mike Hicks last night, and he handed me his debit card that he got. He received a debit card as a gift, a $50 debit card, and he decided he and his buddies were going to go out and have a beer. And so the bill was, he and his buddies were there, and it came time to pay the bill, and he wanted to treat them because he was given this $50 gift card, a debit card. And it was declined at a restaurant in Springfield, Missouri. So his debit card that was fully paid, loaded with $50, was declined. And he was embarrassed. So, I guess he was kind of telling me, yeah, it happened to him too. And this was a prepaid debit card. Well, he tried to use that card at a gas station. He said, he went inside and he said, let me try this, and I'd like to put $20 on that pump over there for gasoline, and it worked. And then he said, well, let me put the $30 balance on. I want to use that too. And that worked. Here's the point. Miles, banks are now controlling where we make our purchases. If they decide that they don't want you to buy from a certain merchant, they can decline your card. That is a huge problem, and that does not happen with cash. No one has ever said to me, well, yeah, actually it happened once. A state government agency told me that they would not accept cash. Other than that, never in my life has a merchant ever said to me, we don't take cash.
Welcome to the new money.
Yeah. It's outrageous.
Vincent, don't waste your time getting on a high horse on that anymore. With the Super Bowl, you had the advertisement of PayPal that claimed to be the new money for you, where not only they can measure where you go because it's attached to a credit or a debit card, they already know where you're shopping online, what your habits are, what you're looking. It's all interconnected with eBay or even with your computer when you have the cookies, the long-term cookies there that don't expire. They search these information. So whatever you want to do, we are in that octopus scenario already. Don't like
no
that.
No question about it. And Miles, back in the 1980s, I believe it was 1984, 1985, I was meeting with the president of a credit card bank. I was an employee, and in comes the marketing VP, and he says, "Okay, here's what we're going to do." He just kind of barges in. He says, "We're going to take over. We're going to categorize our customers, our credit card customers, by groups. We'll have 4 groups, and some people want points, some people want rewards, some people want discounts, and some people fly, and so forth. So they're all categorized into groups so that the bank could tailor the offerings for the credit cards based on the spending habits of its customers. What did they buy? Where did they buy it? Were they goal seekers? Were they people who were looking for the best price? What were they? And then tailor the credit card terms and conditions and rates and interest rates and fees and so forth based on their habits. So this was back in the mid 1980s that banks were already looking into this. So I'm sure we are leap years ahead, miles and miles and miles ahead of where we were back then.
Let me tell you how that works, okay? Today, whether you pay with credit card or cash doesn't make any difference anymore. When you are at a cash register, there's a camera pointed to you. So if you pay with cash, that's been registered. Your face is all over their video that is interconnected to a central mainframe system that already is interconnected with Homeland Security and other alphabet agencies. So it really doesn't matter anymore. Cash is something that died last December. We're going out of cash. And you see that by in Europe taking the 500 euros out, and with you they're taking the 100 out. Then they probably take the 20s out that are one of the most circulated bill with you. And this is just a matter of time, or it's a matter of succession of events that might happen with our economy, that they switch over totally digital in an instant. It's not worth to waste your time with that anymore.
Okay, then what do you suggest we do?
Brace for the impact, what's coming. The outlook is not very good for what's coming. So in our last show, we were talking about preparations. I gave you a time frame of get your stuff that you need for your preparedness, for your health as a first line defense, up to end March. And now we are beginning March. So you have 2 or 3 more weeks to get your ducks in the row. I will give you a couple of examples. From last time that we talked, I bought a 5-year supply of vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. A 5-year supply for 5 people. I just came back from my shopping spree, and I bought 1,000 meals, baby meals. That is the glass jars, all kinds of different ones, because these jars might determine whether you have to work out at some time and there's nothing to buy, or you have to hike somewhere, that you have for your day that you need to spend outside, that you have a jar ready to eat. Or somebody is coming by that you don't expect. What are you doing with a baby? I bought a 3-year supply of the instant wheat milk products for babies and toddlers, in order to have that satisfied as well, because you can use that as a currency. Yesterday, we're talking with John about that. It's time to get your ducks in the row. Don't waste your time with bragging on something else.
You're absolutely right. And here at the farm, when we're not on the air, we are absolutely busy doing everything we can to prepare for, well, the unknown events and the known events. We know that the financial collapse is happening. We can see it. We can see gas prices here are going up and up. And yesterday at the meetup, I mentioned that I was looking at the gas price map, and in the Springfield, Missouri area, our gas prices are lower than pretty much everywhere else in the country, and they're going up. So, a month ago or so, we were close to $1.18, something like that, and now we are at $1.64 price fixed across Springfield. So it's a rapid increase, and I mentioned to you off the air that I've ordered fuel for delivery, and we're going to top off, and we talked about how the low prices were driving the oil producers, out of business, and they were just walking away from their equipment, and so that what we had was an abundance of fuel, and now we're going into a shortage of fuel, or at least that's what we think might happen. Is that right? You agree with that still?
I absolutely do. But what nobody's talking about that is that last Friday, the government employees of Saudi Arabia stormed the head mosque in Mecca. This is the place where all the Muslims, if they have the opportunity to go in their lifetime, that they go there, and if they're lucky, they come back, because you can get all kinds of diseases there, and on the way you might die. So this is the most holy place for the Muslims. This place has been stormed by government employees of Saudi Arabia because they were not paid for the last 6 months. So what does that have to do with our economic situation? We get into that after the break, I guess.
Sounds wonderful. Miles is with us. Miles is in Europe, senior USA Preparedness.com instructor. I'm Vin Finelli. You might want to share this broadcast with friends and family. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy, or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Hello?
Congratulations.
For what?
For losing all that weight. How'd you do it so fast?
ASAP.
ASAP what? What's that mean?
Are you ready to get as skinny as possible, as soon as possible, as simple as possible, and as sexy as possible?
I'm listening.
Then get with the ASAP program. It's real and it works. No smooth talk, no slick advertising, and no exaggerated claims of success.
I've got to know more.
Welcome to ASAP, as slim as possible. Whether you have 10, 20, or 50 pounds to lose, ASAP is your weight loss answer. ASAP targets the abnormal fat reserves and makes them available to be burned as fuel, and contains no caffeine or hormones. Order ASAP at wholesale prices or join the team to share the business with others. Go to GCNteam.com or call 855-GCN-MALL. That's 855-426-6255. GCNteam.com or 855-426-6255. Lose weight and look great with ASAP, as slim as possible.
Attention citizens. This man has received national attention for accurately predicting every major financial trend, including the market crash of 2008. His name is Harry Dent. And in his newly released book, he is making even bigger and bolder predictions that have the potential to devastate the world economy and your personal wealth. You can get a free copy of Harry Dent's bestseller, The Demographic Cliff, containing never-before-published information by simply visiting www.harrydentresearch.com. Again, that's www.harrydentresearch.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Miles in Europe is with us. So, Miles, in Saudi Arabia, the price of oil was high at one time, and it's been coming down, and it's had some impact. Please continue.
Well, last Friday, the government employees stormed the head mosque because they were not paid for the last 6 months. That gives you kind of a picture of the state of the situation in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They're involved in all these wars with Yemen, and they're funding ISIS and other countries such as Turkey. Turkey is a large receiver of monetary funds, and what we see here now, where I'm at, is we are having the Saudi families coming onto different territories and building up other bread baskets for them to live after what's going to happen with Saudi Arabia. This is huge. The implications on that is when Saudi Arabia is stopping to pump oil, you will find out that the oil price suddenly spikes up again. And what comes next will be the overload onto the system, because demand is being higher than the actual production, and they have to sit down, negotiate the quotas again. And in the meantime, that might have sent ripples through your economy, and you might find out that the dollar gets some devaluation in that time. So you really have not the time to focus on side playgrounds. You really need to stay focused for what's coming in the next 6 to 9 months. And to make that very clear to you, I send you a link that I like you to open up to find out about that more. 2 years ago, we both discussed the Deagle homepage with the numbers that they had for certain countries with the development of populations and the GDP. Well, these numbers have been changed, and it's very interesting to look up these numbers.
Class, if you'd like to follow along, you can go to deagel.com, deagel.com. And I'll post a link to this on our website, USA Prepares, during the broadcast. Miles, as we talk about Saudi Arabia and we talk about oil, are you seeing shortages in everything that relates to oil? I'm talking about rubber products, or I'm talking about lubricating oils and greases and so forth. What makes the planet operate? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the lubricant manufacturers are taking their hits as well right now. It's a concentration of the market of lubricant manufacturers. We owe that due to the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the Transatlantic Partnership, the Trans-Asia Partnership. We are moving towards a new world dominance of a multipolar world. We're moving away from the unipolar world where America dominated everything. Now the players have to make contracts in order to know how they like to work with each other. And so you see corporations evaporating, merging together. We even will see countries merging together, as you saw with the European Union. The European Union is talking about now not issuing national passports anymore, but only European passports. So this is the way to go. This is going to happen. And the consequence for that will be that everything will be a digital currency, because in these Trans-Pacific and Transatlantic partnerships and Trans-Asia partnerships, everything can only be monitored and steered, and the statistics can be done really accurate if you have everything digitalized. But don't worry, the politicians will still get their bribes in gold and silver then, not in the digital currency.
Miles, I was talking to the meetup group last night, and I just mentioned something that was just some anecdotal evidence of a small supply chain problem. There's a lubricant that I like for some of our air-cooled engines, and it's sold by Walmart, and I had several jugs of it, 5-quart jugs. It's called SuperTech, and there's a viscosity that I like. It's a 5W30, and I use it in the air-cooled engines. And
sure,
it's not Mobil 1, which we use in our vehicles, but they're out of it. They're out of it all over Missouri, and no one.
You start seeing it now. Yes.
Yes, and the reports on the internet say it's a pretty good lubricant, and it's relatively inexpensive. So yeah, and this is an early alert, I think. I'd like to get your opinion on that when we come back.
Sure.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll-free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
So, Miles, what happened was I asked our son, who was traveling in near Marshfield, Missouri, if he could pick up 3 jugs of 5 quarts each of this SuperTech oil. And I was servicing some of the air-cooled equipment that we have on the farm. And he came back and he said, "They're out of it, Dad." And I said, "Are they going to get some more in?" And he said, "They didn't know." So I was heading to Springfield last night, and I called about 4 Walmarts in Springfield area, and none of them had this SuperTech oil, and nobody knew when they would get it, and they said the warehouse is out of it. So this is not really all that significant. It's just one little tiny piece of anecdotal evidence that there is, they're beginning to have supply chain absences or products not available that we just think that they're always going to be around.
Let me give you an example. I today received a shipment of spare parts, and I waited 4 weeks for these shipments because I wanted to have it shipped when it's completed and not pay for every part of the shipment. So I ordered for our old Mercedes, our old 210 station wagon S-Class, front shock absorbers. These are made by Bilstein. They are the OEs. It took 4 weeks to get these shock absorbers. Engine mounts, the OE quality rated ones, they took 2 weeks to get them. The other item was the drivetrain, the cardan joints. They took 10 days to be wholesaled and then to come to my parts dealer. So we're talking about feelable shortages on items that were commonly available a year ago or that were very easy to purchase at your local parts store was not an issue. Now we have that. There's other items such as high technical greases, especially I'm using a certain grease. I was using a certain grease from 3M that was the full synthetic grease, silicone grease that you can use as a dipole grease, or you can mount rubber mounts better to the chassis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 3M is not providing that anymore to Europe now. It's only available in America right now. And the list goes on and on with that. So for me, it's not only a punctual evidence. I see it happening all over when I do purchases now. It's not as that the aisles on the supermarkets are getting more empty, but for example, one supermarket, the Aldi supermarket here in Germany, when I went to Germany, they normally had a pretty good variety on fruits. Now they tripled the display of oranges in order to fill the gaps.
Mm-hmm. We've noticed the same thing. And we've noticed that the price on some fruit is going way up, like double, 2.5 times. In just a couple
Cucumbers
weeks.
and peppers. It's very interesting to look at the prices of cucumbers and peppers. I had that conversation on the weekend with Joey from Michigan, and I checked today the cucumber prices. Well, they already doubled from that what was normal.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what we're seeing here. Miles, we have Rich in Montana calling. Rich Sheben, welcome.
How are you guys today?
Hey, Rich, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well with your back.
Oh, doing great. Yeah, no complaints. As long as I do everything with moderation and modification, I'm hanging in there, buddy. Hey, I was listening to what you were saying earlier, and it's very interesting what's happening in Saudi Arabia with oil right now. But I was really interested in what you had to say with digital cashless money and commerce for the TPP and all these trade agreements, which, as everybody knows, puts America in a deficit because we never get a surplus out of that. But my specific questions are, do you think it's going to be, are they going to be using SDRs? And when we go cashless, whether it be here or over in Europe, and because I know they're pushing for it because the big banks and the UN and the central banks, they certainly don't want any accountability, so they can just add zeros and commas and all the digits they want in their buddies' accounts and take from everybody else and make slaves out of the majority of the people. So if we go cashless, or when we go cashless, because I know I've been reading so much about it, what kind of a timeline, Miles, do you think we're going to have where physical cash would be outlawed? And how do you think they're going to go about that?
Great question. They will go about, it's a very simple scenario that will play out. When your economy starts tanking, when you see that the dollar loses its value against silver, copper, and gold, this is the signal when things are starting to go bad. Worldwide in the Northern Hemisphere, by the way, it's not only your financial system that is in shambles there, it is the entire so-called Western financial system that is going to collapse because it's working on the IBAN system and on the SWIFT system. These are the central bank systems that have been implemented, and that will fall apart. So when you find out the silver price going up against the dollar, or copper is a very good indicator. Copper actually was a very good indicator for the last 70 years in measurement of the value of the dollar. This is the point where you have actual reference how the dollar developed or was devalued in the last 50 years.
Well, we can all see how fiat currencies around the globe are losing, especially when they're backed by absolutely nothing, are losing confidence by the consumer. And all this printing of money and the U.S. Treasury giving out IOUs, it's certainly obvious to the people that we're in a bad place looking with foresight. So that being said, because of what you just said regarding silver and gold going up, do you feel that silver and gold will be used as legal commerce, or at least barter around the table in the future for goods and services?
Yes, it will be, of course. When you go back to the Black Friday in the 20s, there were some investors who bought an entire block in New York, in Manhattan, for 1 ounce of gold. So when you put that into relation, for heavy investments, gold will still be the carrier of value. But on a daily basis, I think you will have a transition time where you need more physical assets that provide benefit to somebody else, such as magnesium. When people start cramping because they're not having adequate nutrition, they need to buffer that. So magnesium will be something. Sodium bicarbonate will be something, because acid reflux or stomach problems or to brush your teeth, that will be something that you can very easily trade for something else. Salt, baby food, these things. John Regan was talking about that yesterday, that gold and silver has not the ability to be a daily trading commodity against food. You will have to provide some food or some other health beneficial item against some other health beneficial item in the transition time.
So when this transition occurs, where gold and silver starts going up and fiat currencies start descending and they go digital,
Just up here. Before they go digital, before they go digital, they wreck your payment systems. They will shut down the credit card system.
So for the average Joe out there, for what's left of the middle class, whether it be in Europe or the United States, what recommendations do you have besides maybe having a little food, maybe buying a little gold and silver? I mean, what would you tell the bottom 93% where the melting of the middle class have really gone into the category of the poor? Because the poor and the middle class, and I give this talk all the time, the rise of political correctness and the fall of the middle class. And I have a chart that it's a compilation of many charts with an X and Y axis, and the vertical axis is dollars, net worth, cash flow, money under the mattress, assets, etc., and the bottom is population. The bottom line is the bottom 93% in America is very little difference in wealth, and basically the top 7%, especially that 1-2% that control the big banks, the 6 corporations that control the media, etc., they're in a different situation. So the bottom 93%, Miles, what plan of action would you give to Americans and Europeans right now?
My recommendation is to prepare something that in our lifetimes only a few folks have witnessed, and that would be the financial crash, the Black Friday in the 20s, or the situation after World War II in Europe.
Miles, are you saying prepare for those days because they're coming again?
Guys, look, 3 weeks ago I had to chase one of these immigrants here because they were hiding in the woods. I tripped over my feet and I fell. And I thought, well, while I was falling, I was thinking, well, that's a pretty good analogy. We are already in free fall. Our shirt already touched the ground. The worst part of the impact is when your full body weight comes down to that point of the lowest point of impact. And we already touched our shirt. Now prepare for your body to touch the ground. And then you have a succession period of approximately 6 to 9 months where you start seeing things really, really bad to develop. And just to put that into a foundation, Deagle changed its forecast for the American populace from 160 million people that survived that to 40 million.
Well, in other words, people need to start waking up and start talking about truth and plans of actions and synergy.
We're past that. Right now, it's only you can prepare for what's coming. Get what you can while you can, and this is all you can do now. What you can do with others later, this is a topic of discussion that you might have with somebody who's coming out on the other end.
Miles, we're talking about 12% survival, right?
Well, it is like 8 out of 9 people that you know will not come through that. Look at your children, your grandchildren, and ask yourself the question what you can do today in the next 2-3 weeks where you don't feel anything in order to prepare for that, what's inevitable.
Rich, thanks so much for your call. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Vince. Nice talking to you, Miles.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Miles and I'll be right back. And Miles, I really believe time is short, and I'll mention something I said at the meetup last night, and I'd like your comment on it. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hey, I rode the elevator with you, but I don't work on the upper floors. I just want to squeeze in there right next to you, so the RFID scanner in my pocket can capture all your personal information, your debit and credit cards, even your work ID badge. So your identity is now my identity. Going up, so am I.
For over 10 years, ID Stronghold has pioneered RFID blocking wallets and ID badge holders for consumers, the U.S. military, and even the Executive Office of the President. Shouldn't you be protected too? ID Stronghold wallets cost about the same as wallets in most stores, but give you extra protection.
I'm Wal Augustinowitz, founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. Don't be a victim of electronic pickpocketing. Protect yourself from crimes you can't see with ID Stronghold wallets, card sleeves, and purses.
Visit idstronghold.com and get the original RFID blocking wallets and badge holders. idstronghold.com.
Hi, my name is Nick Lupo. One World Whey has been by far the best protein that I've ever had. I take it 3 times a day. Once in the morning as soon as I wake, once for a pre-workout snack, and once for a post-workout recovery drink. It has helped me transform and sculpt my body into what I have now. I began taking the product about 2 years ago, and boy, let me tell you, I'm in the best shape of my life. I've seen major muscle mass gains and have 0% body fat. I have had people at my gym ask if I compete in bodybuilding because of how lean and muscular I am. I used to suffer from everyday aches and pains from hard manual labor my whole life, and arthritis that runs through my family. But One World Whey has helped me take that everyday pain from a 10 to a 3. Some days I feel no pain at all, just full of life and energy. It has also helped my skin look younger and healthier. Thank you, Synergistic Nutrition, for One World Whey.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
If you want to raise the next generation of Patriot leaders, take a look at Freedom Project Academy, a Judeo-Christian online school for kindergarten through high school. No Common Core teaching methods or high-stakes testing. Freedom Project Academy is government-free. doesn't accept any government funding and is a fully accredited private school. All classes are taught live online with real teachers across the country. Open enrollment runs March through July, but classes fill up quickly. Check them out at fpeusa.org. That's fpeusa.org.
Miles, I have a very short story I want to share with you. I shared it at the meetup, and I'll tell it very quickly. And there's a reason I want to share this. I got a call here at the farmhouse, and a gentleman called and said, yeah, I talked to your son. What a delightful young man. He's so articulate, so pleasant. And I said, are you sure you have the right number? And I'm sure you've talked to him. And here's why I'm mentioning that. So this woman, I was with my son at our friend's tire shop, and it's a small tire shop in where we live. And guy put in a new driveway, and I looked, and this woman came in, and her car was making some noises, and she left a trail of oil from the road all the way to where she parked it on his new driveway. And she didn't care that she just put oil all over his driveway. And so I went out to help her, and I said, ma'am, you got an oil leak. And she said, it's just a little leak. And I said, no, ma'am, this is a gusher. So she was going to check her oil, and the car was leaning. And I said, no, you can't check your oil on this kind of an angle. You got to have it more level. And she was not concerned about me trying to help her. And I was going to try to find the oil leak and see if we could help her and fix it. And so she was annoyed. And my son kind of grabs me and pulls me away. And he said, Dad, knock it off. Forget it. Just forget it. And he was annoyed that I was spending my time trying to help this woman who just absolutely knew everything, didn't care, and she wasn't going to, probably make it home anyway because of her ignorance to the facts. The point I'm trying to make, Miles, that is one of the 88% that we're talking about that won't make it. And we can't let them drag us down. I'm sorry to say that.
Well, Vincent, let's bring it to farmers' terms, okay? I like the farmers' analogies to sometimes do that. So let me try this one here. Don't try to teach a pig to sing or dance. You will irritate the pig, and it eventually will run away.
Yeah.
So you don't have time to worry about that anymore. Look, the outlook for America is 40 million. For Europe, for the German-speaking population, it's half. And the ones that are not smart enough to take their preparations now, and I mean instantly now, it might be really the last call that they have. And it's very easy for me to be very quiet about that or talk very calm about that because everybody had enough of time to see things coming when 2007 the bubble bursted, the first huge bubble bursted, and all these banks went berserk. And the same thing will happen here again. We will have a centralization of power in certain banks that then will hold the blockchain, such as Bitcoin. If you research Bitcoin, you will find out that DARPA, the research agency of the military, they are the ones who own the blockchain, and it was invented at the MIT. It was known back then when the Bitcoin was introduced to more people because the community of Bitcoiners was small. Now it's large. Nobody's taking care of that. Everybody just wants to try to park its value, its money or their money somewhere where it can do something. And I think this is just my opinion, my thoughts on that. The best place to start is not only with your food, but with your personal items that you need on a daily basis for your health. Because if your health is not staying right, you won't make it.
Just one member of the family being ill, having a disease, can bring the whole family down. I've seen it. I've absolutely seen it. And what I'm seeing at the meetup last night, I was talking with one of my dear friends who has a spot on his kidney. And it's not good. It's not good. And he's an independent businessman, and, it could take down the business. It literally could do that, which would destroy the family. Just one guy. 1 out of 4 in this family can take down the whole family and turn them into paupers. Miles is with us. We'll be right back, and we're talking about preparedness. We're talking about what we really see happening. Doesn't look good, and if you're not preparing, you're not paying attention. Please share this broadcast with your family members and close friends. We'll be back after Top there. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
It's no secret that pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, molds, and fungus can inflict severe damage in the human body. Fortunately, a new and vastly improved silver solution has been developed. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary broad-spectrum antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal solution that can be used inside the body as well as on the skin. Supernatural Silver is unique and superior to colloidal and ionic silvers, using a patented technology that is highly effective against colds, flus, infections, food poisoning, and yeast, in addition to many other pathogens. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, extremely safe, and is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Find out how Supernatural Silver could change your life. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HEALTHY for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com, and like us on Facebook.
The tiny church where Ronald and Nancy Regan were married is still a popular wedding venue in Los Angeles. It's getting some renewed attention with the passing of Nancy Regan on Sunday.
We've heard that it's a wonderful love story. We've heard and read about the Regans, and it's really an honor that the Little Brown Church gets to be a part of that story.
That is Reverend Michael Kosick, Associate Pastor of the Little Brown Church, as it's officially known. He says it's hosted more than 23,000 weddings since the Regans tied the knot there.
It's a wonderful place to get married. The Little Brown Church is a quaint little spot that is peaceful. People come in 24/7. We haven't locked the doors since 1939 when the church was built.
The nondescript building in the Studio City neighbor of Los Angeles seats only 125 people. The church is part of the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, opened in 1939. The Regans tied the knot there back in 1952. More details on these stories at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Bob Agnew.
Destroy harmful bacteria, allergens, bedbugs, dust mites, fleas in your home with the Ladybug Steam Vapor System. The Ladybug dives deep on surfaces without any toxic residue. Traditional control agents contain toxic chemicals which do more harm than good. Sanitize and disinfect using just water. Quick, fast, and surprisingly easy.
Find out more now by calling 800-997-6584. Ask for Randy. That's 800-997-6584. Or go to advap.com/GCN. That's advap.com/GCN. Water is the single most important thing your body needs. So you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to goberkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. goberkey.com.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Hour number 2 of the USAPrepares.com. John is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. Miles is with us in Europe. I'm Vincent Finelli. Miles, during the 20th century, the United States became the focal point of civilization. We were a bastion of innovation, creativity, technology, but we are losing that. And as the United States loses its importance in the world, Do you see Russia and China taking the place of the United States?
In 1973, there was a treaty cut under the guise of the United Nations. It was the so-called Treaty of Lima in Peru, where all the nations, the industrial nations, agreed to transfer their industries to third world countries in order to smooth out social inequality. From 1973 on, then you saw from the industrial nations going more and more production towards China, towards India. Everybody probably knows or can remember the Union Carbide incident in Bhopal, India, where the batteries have been made, and there was that huge loss of life because of the chemical that was going out. Another very well example is Volkswagen. Volkswagen is since the 70s, I think, producing cars as a joint venture in China. That had been one of the big engines for China to get the steel corporations over there. Thyssen and American Steel were the ones who provided then the plants that were deconstructed there. And what's happening now is that China, yet 2 days ago, announced on the Communist Party convention that China now needs to take another approach, go away from industry, and go more towards services and technology. I think we all know this kind of new scenario because it was implemented in the 80s in America. And in the 90s, it was implemented in Europe that the heavy industries are going away. So, having that said, China was the industrial engine until now, and now they're trying to transition to something else. So manufacturing will go other places now, to the places that are still on the map, on the world map, as third world countries.
Miles, as I look at some of the products from China, some of them are quite good. I mean, really, really good. There's Harbor Freight, who has, they used to sell second-rate tools from China, but over the years, over 10 years or so, they've gotten better and better, and now they're just top quality. The fit, the finish is just superb, and the price is at least half of what other tools might cost. And if you look at American tools, if you look at Craftsman tools, you can get a set of wrenches for probably 20 to 25% the cost of Craftsman wrenches at Harbor Freight Tools. And they're great tools, or many of them are great. So do you think that we have spent our way as consumers in the United States into destroying our own manufacturing base because the price of American goods was so high compared to Chinese goods, and we just said, we'll just buy the cheap stuff, and we destroyed our own infrastructure as well as that?
You, as the residents in America, you never had a say in that. In 1910, the Trading with the Enemy Act was forged out of Washington, and in 1933, it was amended by FDR against the American residents. So the American residents since 1933, and by the way, who doesn't know that, just look it up. Go to the Treasury, read about the Trading with the Enemy Act and the amendment of 1933. You never had a say, and that is because there was a double standard. All the corporations that you had in America have been registered on a federal level. So the a federal registry was actually the holder and the custodian of these corporations in a tax sense. In an economic sense, they provided labor for you to keep you occupied with your lives and to create the illusion that everybody's of value who has a job, who goes to college, to university, gets a degree, and then works up its life. This system is now ending. This system is ending because you, as the residents, never had a say in what kind of law laws that were implemented on environmental laws, on educational laws. You were only there to go through that mill. So what's happening now is everything is going back into the box.
As I look at the jobs, Joey from Michigan and I were talking about the auto industry and the disaster that is left in the wake of the American automobile, the love of the American automobile. And what we talked about was these factory workers who would show up day after day after day in noisy, dirty environments. The air was full of all kinds of pollutants, and they worked and they showed up day after day, and after they were used up, after these people's bodies were used up, they're discarded. Who needs them anymore?
You see that in Flint. You see that right now in Flint. Who is living in Flint right now is on social benefits or is on benefits of a retirement fund of the car industries. Both have one thing in common. They only cost money. So now the question is, how do you get rid of your expenses, of the ones that you have to pay? Last week, the truckers had to eat a bitter pill. They were proposed to have a cut of 60% of their retirement money. These are things that are happening now with you. As long as an economy is thriving, all these illusions are not known to you because you are in a system that is flourishing, that is going up. But when the life cycle of that system reaches its end and it's halfway to the 0 point again, then you start feeling that. And the halfway point, that was the 90s in America when Clinton took over. And now you're reaching 0. Everything goes back in the box.
I was reading a billboard on the way to the meetup last night, and it was an advertisement, so you too can be a truck driver, and you too can have weekends home, and we'll pay you, I think it said, $140-something thousand a year as a truck driver. And my immediate thought was, that's a lot of money. However, it's a really, really tough job. It's full of pollutants, it's full of stress, it's full of danger, and you have no idea what you're carrying, and then you have to go through all of these checkpoints, and what a tough life it is. But they're willing to pay people to do it, what I would consider quite a lot of money. However, my thought immediately went to, okay, they're willing to use these truck drivers as long as they can get behind the wheel and do the job, and then they're disposable. And that was my reaction. I think that's the case with a lot of jobs that we have today. But yet, to make us think we are productive, we sit behind keyboards and computer screens and we type in each other's data into databases. Other than that, we don't do too much. Other than we have jobs where we sit in offices and we type in information on screens. We load trucks, and we are in the service industry. Other than that, not much is happening in the United States, unless I'm confused. But I don't think so.
Look, John Regan is doing a tremendous job in bringing every Monday or even twice a week his data points to the picture. I'm not talking about something new here. I'm just summing it up onto a level like on human interaction. What does that do these data points mean to you on an individual level on a daily basis? John summed it up with every Monday that you do, that you are going downhill for a long time, and in order to keep the masses calm, they need to create other illusions and suppressions. That's why you were seeing the MRAPs being deployed or the police force being increased. It is to keep you in check. And I'm worried about the situation when the economy starts to fold, and then you have many people that will be very disgruntled against many ABCs and the agencies of the government. What is going to happen then? Is that wild card day?
You know, that's something that some people who I've heard in conversations say, I can't wait. They can't wait for that day. And I'm thinking, boy, that's going to be a bad day.
It's going to be a very bad day. It's going to be a very bad day. And for everybody who is responsible for a child or a wife or feels responsible for them, that's another part of the equation. You need to get out of shambles. The more you are in the cities, the more prone you are to become dinner.
You know, Miles, I know people who have said, literally, I'm not exaggerating, when it gets really, really bad, we'll just go out to eat. You know, if we don't have any food, we'll just go out to eat.
Ignorance is bliss.
And that really seems to be an attitude. And I look at these arenas where games are played and people, guys run around in short pants and they chase a ball, and people are willing to spend more and more money and go to those events, but they're not willing. They're not willing to prepare. And the more I see of this, the more I realize that the percentage of survival, those who actually make it, it's very, very small. Let's talk more about what we should do when we come back.
Let's go to the marketplace.
By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit The Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of The Berkey Guy.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Miles is in Europe, and so we're going to talk about what to do. Miles, before we talk about the marketplace, I wanted to mention that we tried to get some doctor's appointments, and we have a doctor, and you can't get a doctor's appointment. 3-4 weeks out. I mean, you can call and say I have a fever 104, and they go, okay, we'll see you next month. So it's a real problem. So here's what we found out. So one member of our family was really, really sick, and we brought this member to urgent care. It's kind of like one step below the emergency room. We could have gone to the emergency room, or you go to urgent care. So you go to urgent care, and they see you within a few hours. And they ran some tests, and so then because we went to urgent care said, okay, we need to see a doctor. And so within the system, you get to see a doctor. And then when you go to the doctor's office, you bring a few members of the family and say, well, can we? And what happens is that same doctor will say, if you call to get an appointment, you can't get one because they're not accepting new patients. But if you go through the urgent care scenario where they say, well, you need to see a doctor, and then you can get to see a doctor, and that doctor can become your doctor. So what you do is you go with that member of the family, and you bring another member. So now there's 3 of you in the waiting room to see the doctor, and then now you say, can you be our doctor as well? And now you get 3 people under that doctor's care. But I don't know of any other way to do it, and it's a ridiculous way to have to go. It's a long way to get to make an appointment to see a doctor. But that's what we did, and it worked.
Well, it worked now, but in future that will not be the case because under Obamacare, there's rules and regulations they have to follow. If they don't do that, they simply will not be paid. End of story. And every doctor wants to pay his car, his house, and his golf club fees. So they're not going to ruin their life program because there's somebody who wants to see a doctor. It's as bitter as it is.
They admit that, Miles. I've heard doctors say, I can't authorize that test. I can't make that referral because I'll get in trouble. With who? Get in trouble with who? Well, what they mean is Obamacare. Okay. And they're not looking out for us, they're looking out for themselves. So doctors don't do what they used to do.
When you become a doctor, when you get a master's degree, this is an entitlement. It is a work permit. And if you start doing things that the organization that is watching over the ones with a certain work permit, if you're starting things that they don't like, you might end up with no work permit. Your doctorship goes out the window. Your master's goes out the window. The situation is that everybody in America and most in the Western world has so much debt that they cannot afford to lose the ability to create an income. And this now brings the problem onto the table that if you want something from them that they would like to do, but they cannot do that because they would put themselves in a bad position, what do you expect? This is where we are right now.
And Miles, we used to be able to buy antibiotics for our animals. We could just go to a veterinarian and say, we'd like to buy some amoxicillin or cephalexin or whatever it might be, and we'd like to get, can we get a sealed bottle of that? And no problem. As of January 1, that is no longer an option. Our government has shut that down, and now you can only get antibiotics for the animal when the veterinarian sees that animal. So now your dog and cat needs a prescription. Yep. And veterinarians are closing their practices because the rules and regulations and supervision is so great by the government that they're saying, forget it, I'm just not going to do it anymore.
The repercussions on them would be higher than their benefits. So when you reach a threshold, when you see that your work actually is not beneficial anymore, and you cannot do that work on a daily basis anymore because you simply can't see it, the best thing to do is to fold. Well, you know somebody very well who did that. Joyce Riley did that.
You know, it's very serious from our perspective as cattle farmers, because we used to be able to call, if we had a cow giving birth and there was a difficulty, we used to be able to call a veterinarian and they would make a house call. Well, these veterinarians are shutting down their practices. Now we have to do it ourselves, and now we have to be vets in training or watch cows die.
Don't know what's in your drinking water? Better get a ProPure. With Pro 1G 2.0 all-in-one filter, remove over 200 contaminants, including fluoride and lead. Taste water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure water filtration products. There's a ProPure system for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details on our current free shipping special or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll-free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, KD Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KD. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to kdarmor.com. Come and take it.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Imagine a pill that can improve your focus, your memory, your sleep, a catalyst to improve your brain chemistry. Dr. Bill's Cognition Plus is truly the smarter in an hour pill. A combination of amino acids, trace minerals, and B vitamins, Cognition Plus is made with specialized herbal extracts that will enhance and support brain function. Our customers say,
I feel more focused.
My memory's getting better.
I can work longer with more useful hours.
Power up your neurotransmitters that have been depleted, like dopamine and norepinephrine. Stimulate the release of others, like serotonin and oxytocin. Improve circulation and energy production. Protect your mind and your loved ones today. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Cognition Plus at 888-212-8871 or go online to NutriMedical.com. That's 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report every weekday on the GCN Radio Network. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Miles, I'd love to get your thoughts on this. When my dad was alive, he would say things to me like, "Hey, Vinny, why don't you have an expert prepare your taxes rather than you struggling with it? Because it's you seem to work so hard trying to learn how to do this and how the system works. Why don't you just have an expert do it? Or, hey, Vinny, why don't you hire somebody to do that mechanics work on your car because you work so hard on it and you struggle with learning how to do it." And so over the years, he said that to me a number of times. Now, here's the question. The question is, I've always struggled with learning how to do it. Not that I'm retarded, but I decide that I'm going to tackle this myself. If a mechanic can do it, I can do it. If a plumber can do it, I can do it. If a carpenter can do it, I can do it. They've just done it before. It's a little easier for them, but it wasn't all that easy the first time for them, so maybe that's why it's not so easy for me the first time, but it's a lot easier the second time for me. Here's the point. As we go forward, the people who we depended on to do those things for us seem to be not available as much as we'd like them to be available. And then as they become unavailable, now what? So the reason that I do a lot of things for myself and our family, does everything. I mean, we literally do everything we can except maybe four-wheel alignments because we don't have the equipment. But it's not like we didn't try. We took it's not like we didn't try. We took out a level and a string, and we were determined that we were going to get it close. Okay. Well, the point is, what is your thought on that? Because entrepreneurs get other people to do a lot of the things for them, but they don't know how to do a lot for themselves. And I've always struggled to, be independent and be a survivalist, if you will, by learning how to do everything I possibly can learn how to do for myself. And that's what I teach our children. Do you think that's the wrong approach or the right approach going forward?
It's called the mastery of life. Whatever happens to you in life, you need to learn how to master it by yourself. You can use others and specialists if you have your time to invest in something that is of more importance at that time. But other than that, the basic skill or the fundamental skill set with not only carpentry, plumbing, car works, that is even for law. That counts for law, for chemistry, for physics. This is something you need to learn. We, unfortunately, have been trained not to know these things. Especially you in America have been educated to the place that you know one thing very well, but you have lack of knowledge in other places to keep an illusion up that you have all the industries that you need for mastering your life, that you don't need to do it by yourself. You're doing a good job.
So, from what I'm hearing, we need to learn a lot about a lot. And those specialists that only know, well, that's what veterinarians would say. They would talk to a doctor. So what do you do? I'm a doctor. And so what do you do? I'm a veterinarian. So, doctor would look down at the veterinarian, but the veterinarian knows about 500 different kinds of animals. A doctor might know, about about feet.
It's not
noses
Vincent,
or ears.
It's not impossible to do. The only thing that you need to do is to access a library of any kind of university where you have search words that you could put in and then read up. However, there are people that are not good in reading; they're better in listening or seeing. So, depending on your kind of skill, you might go to YouTube and just type in what bothers you and find a solution. Like. Just an example, if you need to plate something with copper, well, go and find out about how you plate something with copper by yourself and prepare yourself if you need to do that in the future, because copper is antibacterial. And I think we will need more surfaces that are copper surfaces in order to keep the bacteria away and in order to get the static electricity out of us. So how do you do copper plating with rootkill? Just do every day one lesson, at least one day a lesson as long as you can. Learn one thing every day, and this is the mastery of life.
Those are great words of wisdom, Miles. When you mentioned the marketplace going forward.
What do you want to know there? The marketplace has many outlets we could talk about. So what are you interested in special?
There are many constraints, and as we go through life, it's constrained optimization for many who are actually thinking. And how do you optimize? Given all these constraints, financial time, skills, resources. Every way you look at it, there are constraints. As we go forward, do you think that we are best use of our time is learning or acquiring tools, or do we do everything? I mean, do we try to do it? And I'm trying to do everything.
Let me break it down from my point of perspective. Number one is learn about what vitamins are doing for you. Read up on what vitamin C, what vitamin B is doing for your body, that you can start diagnosing your own needs. Same thing counts for minerals and amino acids. Basic fundamentals that every child in kindergarten should be trained on. You can do that. Everybody can do that. You need to learn how to stay healthy, and if you have a condition, how to wiggle it off again. The second thing is, if you have something that you want to accomplish that needs to be built, learn about that. Read up on that. Go to YouTube. Watch it. The next thing is, if you want to have a tool, make sure you have the right tool that you can operate, or that you learned about that if you don't have somebody who is showing you. You can do everything. Everybody can do whatever. The human mind and brain is incredible. It has capacities that are simply left rotting there in everybody's head. You can do whatever you want, but you need to train a muscle in order to get a stronger muscle. So start reading, start watching, and start building up a file cabinet. When things go south and you do not find anything anymore about what you want to learn, build yourself a file cabinet and then print out everything what you deem a point of interest. That might be a cooking recipe. That might be a recipe on how to alkalize your body. That might be an instruction how to build a greenhouse. A greenhouse will be a very important thing in the coming time. Or if you don't have a place for a greenhouse, you definitely need to learn in the next 2 weeks how you do gardening inside your home.
And I'm so glad you mentioned this series of things that we need to know about. Our son is collecting recipes and he's saving them and he's going to print them out, which is, I'm all for it. Put them in a 3-ring binder. And that's something that we've been doing.
Take a laser printer for that. Don't do it with ink, just a laser printer.
Right, laser printer, that's exactly what we're doing. And cost per page, class, when you buy a laser printer, we found that Samsung has some older models that are less than $100, that cost per click is less than 2 cents with the paper. So that's a great way to go. Now, when you mentioned greenhouses, Miles, last night a topic came up at the meetup, and that was Sam, who is a truck driver, has got some very interesting sage advice. And he said, he was standing under a streetlight and he looked up and he said he saw all this dust coming down, this sparkly dust coming down from the sky. And, obviously it was chemtrail dust. And so we talked about how we saw the same thing here at the farm. I took a flashlight out and I was checking on the animals at night. And, with that LED flashlight, it illuminates all this dust. So it's in Springfield, it's in Wright County, it's all over. And other instructors who are with us have seen the same thing in their neck of the woods, which is, thousands of miles or hundreds of miles from where we are. So it's all over. So you're right about the greenhouses. We're going to have to protect our plants from the raining down of these chemtrails. One last thought on this.
Not only that,
radiation.
Radiation is another thing. My wife 2 days ago flew to LAX. A landing approach over Utah and Nevada was 1,500 CPMs, clicks per minute, in the landing approach, and hitting LAX was 900 clicks per minute on the airport. So this is something you definitely need to take into consideration. That's why the greenhouse will be so important. And if not the greenhouse, go and learn about the Kratky method to plant seeds or to do sprouting inside, that you have something to eat that provides you the fresh enzymes that you need. Because you can stock up on enzyme pills as well, but the better way to go is get the fresh stuff that you can sprout, that you can grow at home with the Kratky method, and get a surplus of fertilizer for the next 5 years. It won't hurt you.
All right, let's talk about that for a second. So one of our neighbors came over to the farm, and we were talking about gardening, and he's a great gardener. I mean, his garden is as good as it gets. And we asked him about fertilizer and what does he do, and he said, well, he gets goat manure from one of our neighbors. And the neighbor's glad to have his goat pen cleaned out, and he's glad to get the manure. And then he said to our son, you guys have any cow manure, because he's having trouble getting goat manure. Great. Now, here's what happened. And I said, well, why don't we bring a front-end loader full of cow manure over to him? And here's why. And we all said the same thing. His garden's our garden. Our garden's his garden. We're all in this together. I mean, he's our neighbor. This is what we do. And so we're not hoarding, the fertilizer. We're trying to make sure that he survives, and he's trying to make sure we survive.
Well,
what a great way to go.
That is great. If you have the opportunity to put a truckload, or not a truckload, a tractor load of that cow manure or that goat manure under a surface where it doesn't rain on, and you have the ability to put some water on that every day, that will be the best cucumbers, the best tomatoes, the best pumpkins that you've ever eaten. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yes, it works.
And ours,
go ahead.
Our animals aren't fed antibiotics, so the manure that we have is great, and the manure that the goat manure he has from the goats eating free range, if you will, is great as well. So we don't have the access to the goat manure, but we do to the cow manure. So, class, we're in this together, and I hope this is helping you jumpstart your level of preparedness with your home. And as we approach the weekend, I hope that you and your children will sit down at dinner and start eating all meals together, and that you can, and talk about what you're going to do right now for your own survival. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy, or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a select quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
For the most amazing, calming, brain-stabilizing, blood sugar, and natural addiction-breaking formula, try CalMind. Anxiety melts, panic is gone, sleep is restful, and you'll stay calm during stress. Better than booze, mind-altering drugs, or anti-anxiety, antidepressant, toxic medications, CalMind lubricates your mind so you'll sail through the day effortlessly. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com and listen to the NutriMedical Report every weekday on the GCN Radio Network. NutriMedical, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Hey, I rode the elevator with you, but I don't work on the upper floors. I just want to squeeze in there right next to you, so the RFID scanner in my pocket can capture all your personal information, your debit and credit cards, even your work ID badge. So your identity is now my identity. Going up, so am I.
For over 10 years, ID Stronghold has pioneered RFID blocking wallets and ID badge holders for consumers, the U.S. military, and even the Executive Office of the President. Shouldn't you be protected too? ID Stronghold wallets cost about the same as wallets in most stores, but give you extra protection.
I'm Walt Augustinowicz, founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. Don't be a victim of electronic pickpocketing. Protect yourself from crimes you can't see with ID Stronghold wallets, card sleeves, and purses.
Visit idstronghold.com and get the original RFID blocking wallets and badge holders. idstronghold.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS? Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely. We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Miles, during this broadcast, you were talking about going cashless or digital. And I just posted on usapreparedness.com, page number 1, that there's a church in Los Angeles who has set up, has an application that they're using to go cashless. So, you know, they're passing the plate and people are putting cash in, they're putting checks in, and now they are donating using an application on their smartphones.
Wow,
so
that's like a stop and drop now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's absolutely over the top. And so I'm sure, and the company that has this application is saying that church contributions will go up 5%, minimum of 5% because of this. But you're absolutely right. And with this, and by the way, where's this news coming from? Bloomberg Business. So one of the wealthiest people on the planet, Bloomberg.
Let me finish with one thing, and then that show will be over already. When you start, my children are taking care of the sprouting here in my family. It's very easy to do, and you need to familiarize with it. I would like to have a conversation with you and Werner Bock in order to find a couple of solutions to come up with that can be applicable for the ones that are interested in that stuff and how to prepare in that situation. So if this is something you would go for, I'm available. And
Absolutely. Would you like me to place a call? Maybe we could do that this evening. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes.
Okay. I will call him, and I'll arrange a time, and I'll send you a message and let you know, and we'll be able to do that. I cannot. I've told him that I cannot explain the relationship that Werner Bach and I have. We've never met each other, but we had an instant friendship, and I can't explain it.
Well, you're the same boat. You're both farmers. You have both the same issues with the poisoning of more and more of the grounds that there are with aluminum, barium, and strontium. And this is something we need to counter. This is something we need to counter because we can enable others or provide for others. So it is not our responsibility, it's our duty.
Okay. I will make that happen. And sprouting, you're absolutely right. You can take a small amount of seeds and just sprout them. You can sprout them in a little tiny sprouter that costs, I don't know, a few dollars. And you can have greens that you can cut with scissors, a clean pair of scissors that you use just for food. And you can add them to your meals as a topping. You can even make sprout sandwiches. I mean, what a great way to go. You get so much food for so little input.
Yeah. And we use only old mason jars for that. We dumbed it down so simply that I can go to a kindergarten and I can have children do the sprouting and enjoy their own the seeds and the fruits of their own labor.
And I remember in elementary school having some chickens, and we got a chance to see where eggs came from, and we planted some plants in the windows of the school, and it was great. That was back then. I don't know if we do that anymore. I don't think we do. I just have a feeling we don't do that anymore.
Heck, no, this is too much work for the teachers. They just want to have their paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I met a man many years ago by the name of Bo Greitz, and I heard him say on the radio before I met him that if you love your children, you'll take them out of the government training camp. When I first heard that back in the 90s, I thought, I can't believe he's saying that. My dad's a principal. My dad ran a great school. My dad actually was involved in education, but he was absolutely right, and I could see our children not being prepared for life ahead there. And
Vincent, let me please finish with one sentence because we're running out of time now. It's time to start now with your preparations. Mm-hmm. You can do that. You can prepare for your children and your great-grandchildren, but you need to start now, today.
I hope, class, you hear the urgency in Miles' voice. It's the same urgency that Ed and Joey and I and Norm Shealy and Rick, we all share the same urgency. So please take his advice. Begin today, in earnest. What else can we say, Miles? That's really it, right?
Good luck.
Miles, hey, thank you so much for being with us and spending 2 hours today.
Thanks for having me.
Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. Pro Pure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better bust.